Sleep is your life support system, and it is the key to living longer. Hey, if you want to know the one mistake you could be making every night that's making your balls shrink and lowering your testosterone, then stay tuned, because today what I'm going to do is talk about sleep and how that affects your testosterone, affects your life, and everything else. And hey, my name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and for the last 20 years I've been the men's performance coach with African Fly, the liquid aphrodisiac. And as a coach, I talk to a lot of guys, and one thing a lot of people don't pay attention to is their sleep. And so we're going to talk about that today, specifically how bad sleep can age you, give you cancer, make you dumb, shrink your balls, lower your testosterone, and a whole bunch of other problems, all the way down to your DNA. And as a bonus, I'm going to tell you how to get better sleep. So make sure you stay until the end of this video to get that bonus. And I want to give a shout out to Glasgow Taylor and Dylan Byrne. Thanks for rocking with me and leaving your comments down in the comment section. I know we're on the new channel. We're going to get all this stuff worked out with YouTube, but stay tuned. And of course, we are going back to going live every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. so I can answer your questions. So, of course, if you like what you hear, go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so I can get some more of this information to you. And what I'm going to do is break this down till it cannot be broken anymore. All right, now sleep is by far the most underrated cure-all. And here's the deal. We live in a man-made or artificial world where we have lights coming at us and all types of bloops and bleeps, and it's messing with our sleep. Now you have to remember, in the US, half of the US did not have electricity until 1925. Before that, people were using kerosene lamps and oil lamps, which were pretty dangerous. And here's something really important to understand. Humans are designed to work by the sun and by temperature. And keep that in mind. I'm going to get back to that in a second. Now, before easily available light, humans used to have what's called second sleep. You go to sleep about 2 hours after dusk, then you go to sleep for about a good 5 hours. You wake up for about a good 2 hours and go back to sleep. We don't do that anymore, but it was so common back then that people actually wrote Bible verses. So when you wake up, aside from having sex and doing whatever, you would read your Bible verses. And with all this electricity, things have changed to the point where 87% of teenagers do not get sleep. They're sleep deprived. And that's really important. And you're going to find out in a second why. So let's talk about men and why sleep is so important for us guys. Men who sleep less than 5 hours a night have significantly smaller testicles than men who sleep 7 to 8 hours. Well, your testosterone is made in large part in your testicles. So men who are getting less sleep also get less testosterone. Your testosterone forms while you're asleep. In fact, men who only get 4 to 5 hours of sleep have testosterone levels 10 years older than their age. So basically, a lack of sleep can age a man by 10 years. Saying you can sleep when you're dead is dead wrong. That's just stupid. Don't do that. You need to get your sleep. It's vitally important. The shorter your sleep, the shorter your lifespan. That's just science. In fact, the World Health Organization has designated that if you're working that night shift, you're working overnight, well, you're messing with your sleep pattern, and they actually call it carcinogenic. It can cause cancer. And to make matters even crazier, not getting enough sleep actually makes you dumber. You need sleep before learning to sort of like prep your brain, and you need sleep after learning. And it's really important because basically while you're asleep, your brain is taking the information that you gave it in that short-term memory bank. And then while you're asleep, that's when it stores it into long-term memory. So basically, when you don't get that sleep, you don't get that long-term memory, you're actually just dumber. In fact, it's so significant, people who do not get enough sleep will actually do worse on tests by 40%. So if you're trying to get a new job, trying to get a promotion, and you have to take an exam, you don't get good sleep, you're not going to do well. That's that 40% is the difference between acing that test and flunking it. Now let's talk about sleep, aging, and your immune system. As you age, your sleep actually gets worse. You're not getting that good quality deep sleep. And in fact, that lack of sleep is what also leads to Alzheimer's. Every disease of the elderly is attached in some form to lack of sleep. With one night of 4 hours sleep, you actually reduce your immune system by 70%. And we're talking about your immune system's capacity to kill cancer cells. And we're talking about cancer of the bowels, prostate, and breast cancer. Over 30% of the medical problems that doctors are facing are tied to lack of sleep. Lack of sleep even messes with your DNA. Compared to people with 8 hours sleep, people with just 6 hours sleep actually have a reduction in their DNA forming correctly. And we're talking about the DNA that helps you with your immune system not being formed as much as the DNA that's tied to cancer, where we're talking about tumors, chronic inflammation, and cardiovascular disease. Now, for my guys, like myself, you got a little extra weight on you. If you're not getting that sleep, you're not going to be able to lose that weight. That chronic inflammation is what's causing you to keep that weight on. And the truth of the matter is, we're not designed for sleep deprivation. We're designed to go to sleep. So basically, your body starts imploding, both in your brain and your body, when you don't get that good sleep. So let's give you some tips for better sleep. And the first thing is just wrapping your mind around this. Just understand, sleep is non-negotiable. Your body does not care about what show is on TV. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about anything. If you're not getting sleep, you can't catch back up with it. Sleep is your life support system, and it is the key to living longer. So really what you want to get into is regular sleep. Regular sleep time is king, so you have to set a pattern for yourself and keep with it. Now, here's a good way to get better sleep, which is to lower the temperature. Remember earlier, I was saying humans are designed to work with the sun and with temperature. So when the sun goes down, it gets cooler and it gets darker. So your body is already pre-programmed to understand that, oh, it's cooler, it's dark, time to go to sleep. So in your room, you need for it to be cooler. And for a lot of guys, we got this new memory foam, these new mattresses that hold heat to it. You have to actually start looking at getting mattress tops. They actually have them on Amazon and different places that will actually keep you cooler so you'll go to sleep faster. And to keep the room cool, you want to keep the temperature down to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. And of course, let me go ahead and say the obvious. Alcohol, weed, and caffeine messes with your sleep. So alcohol messes with your sleep in 3 different ways because, first of all, it's a sedative. But it doesn't function like a sedative that's going to just nicely put you to sleep. Nope, it doesn't work like that. It'll basically turn off a part of your brain that's supposed to be firing while you're asleep. So you're not getting good quality deep sleep. It fragments your sleep. So basically, your brain is sort of like in fight or flight while you're asleep. So you'll just wake up and then go back to sleep, wake up and go back to sleep, not knowing it. And it also stops your REM, your dream sleep. So you're not being as creative when you have that part stopped. Caffeine. Caffeine stays in your system for 10 to 12 hours. So let's say, for example, you start drinking a cup of coffee at like 2 o'clock p.m. Well, it's still in your system up till 12 o'clock. And what happens at 12 o'clock midnight? Well, you're up, your sleep is fragmented, you're having problems. It just makes it hard to go to sleep and hard to stay asleep. Now, as far as weed is concerned, well, it may seem like it should make you sleepy. Some weed actually makes you hyper. But the problem also is the same. You're just not getting that good quality deep sleep. You keep waking up for snacks. That's what's going on. So in conclusion, sleep is the most underrated cure-all. You need to get it in your life consistently. Men who sleep 4 to 5 hours have lower testosterone and it ages you. During sleep is when your brain shifts the new information you just learned that day into the memory file. So you need to make sure you stay with your regular sleep. We are not designed to just stay up all night. Our bodies actually start imploding. Your brain is not working as well. Your body's not functioning as well either. Regular sleep is king, even on weekends, even on holidays. Do it all the time. Alcohol, weed, and caffeine will mess up your sleep, so gotta cut it out. So question of the day, how much sleep do you get on the regular? And do you think you need more? Let us know in the comment section below. And as always, if you like what you heard, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so we can get some more of this information to you. And this is Uncle B saying, get your game up, go hard, peace out.